to find innovative solutions for agri-technology. Joining with us, both school category and university category teams today, we have something slightly different and exciting planned for you in our today's webinar session. Today, we have with us Mr. Intika Dalugama, Mr. Krishore Kumar Shetty, and Mr. Chamikara Pereira to share their experience and knowledge with you. So buckle up for a journey to gain knowledge and clear your doubts. First, we have with us Mr. Indika Dalugama, Data Platform Solution Architect for Microsoft, a dedicated and well-known personality in the field, to enlighten you and to share his experience and knowledge on the topic of empowering the skill of design thinking. Sir, the platform is yours now.
Thank you, Diniti. Thank you very much for the great introduction. Hi, team. Good evening for everyone. So I think, like Diniti mentioned, we have a solid agenda. So how we can discuss about the design thinking. First, I will be covering that part with the first half. So then I will hand it over to the Kishore for the discuss about the various the scenarios and how real technology can use for this kind of implementation or the agri side. So then we all get together with you with the Chamikara to discuss about any of your question and answering session. So we'll give you more brief on and more tips on that how you can be successful on this journey. So let me share my screen. Give me 1 second. I hope everyone can see the screen. Diniti, will you be able to confirm?
Yes, sir, we can see the screen.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you again all the participation who going to be part of this the Agrathon. So this is the great initiative which I would like to give my best the experience and also how I can give my knowledge to all the participation to how they can get maximum out of this particular hackathon. So today I'm going to cover the design thinking part. So because that is kind of an important area when it comes to designing a solution for a particular practical scenario. So that's where this design thinking concept is come. So this is the formally design thinking has a many stages to cover when it comes to the large scale implementation or large scale project or product. So I will go through this how this design thinking concept simplified you to get an understanding about that and how you can utilize or how you can use these steps to build your product to be successful within this hackathon, as well as when it comes to your the organization, or whether you are a university student or the school student. This would be kind of a good platform or foundations to think about that how we are going to uh, solve the real world problem with this concept, right? So everybody now in this audience know this what is agrathon, but I would like to just give a brief of that again, refocus your the thought process. So this initiative which we are going to cover this many aspects. So you will see in the left side, so these are the project expectation, right? So you will see many boxes. So one of these things is that how you can use new technology, how you can invent your own things to solve kind of agri related problem. So other thing is that this is not like a normal hackathon event. So the specialty of this one is when you come up with your own idea, so the team is trying to connect with you all to build your own startup. That means, so once you come up with the great idea, so how you can convert this is to a executable product. So that is the end goal of this one. So it's just not nothing like just do a hackathon and just give awards, not nothing like that. So we want to take your idea, make into a product. So then how we can take that product into next level, how you can be entrepreneur, so how you can build your next startup. So that is another one key area. So that is which is my great interest, how why I joined for this particular hackathon event, right? So then the focus area is very clear. So this is purely we are focusing on the agri side. So you can come up with the many idea around that. When it when it go to any of problem solving or design your solutions to a real world problem, so you want to think about this. So why and what are the most key critical words you want to think about that. So my perspective is that why is more important than what. So why I am saying that, actually, before you think about that, before you come to the solution, you want to think about that, why I am doing this one, what would be the benefit if I do these abcd things, what would be the benefit for my maybe end customer, maybe in product and service, something like that. So, and why this concept, why and what is more important to this hackathon is that when the judge panel is going to judge your product or your idea, so they will definitely evaluate that. So have you done the groundwork, have you identified the real world problems, and are you comfortable with this that technology that you are going to use and feasibility of that, and also then what is the value we are going to bring to the end users, and also how sustainable is that. So that is also most important thing. We can come up with a nice idea, great idea, and when it come to the product development, even though you have a nice idea, when you convert it to a executable product, maybe your end user is not that capable or not feasible or not cost effective to use that. So that's why you need to think about that when you are taking this challenge. Why, what, who is my audience, something like that. I will go through those steps. So those are the things you want to keep in mind, because the judge panel will judge based on these factors. So the reliability, the how you identify the problem, how sustained is that, so then how you are going to market it itself, whether it's a feasible for the market users, is it affordable for them, and how the sustainability of that, and how you can improve for the next version of that. So those are the things you want to keep in mind. So that's why I bring this slide for you. So you want to think about that before you jump into the solution, why I am going to do this one. The next question is that what is the impact if I made this product. So those are the key thing you want to keep in mind throughout your product development or the hackathon, or when you are going to, I hope that now maybe you already identify some problems, or some of the in middle of the something, or else some maybe are in initial phase. If you are in initial phase, I think this is the phase, the great phase. You can rethink about that and go back, take you a step back and think about that, why I am going to do this one. If you already identify your scenario, just think about this as a team. Okay, why I am going to do this one. So then what is the impact of this one? If I do these things, what is the impact for the my product as well as the end user? Maybe your end user, maybe your the farmers. In the most of these cases, maybe your farmer is your end user, because we are going to give a solution, or we are going to give a product to them to make their life easier. So in that angle, you want to think about that, why I am going to tell this one, and what is the impact for them as well as for their users. Their users may be the citizens. So because we are the consumer for their crops. So that's where the different angle you want to think about that. If I take a kind of example, let's say we are going to use IoT sensor based solution we are going to propose for one of the farmer, right? So then the first question you want to think about that, why I am proposing these IoT based solutions to them, right? So then you want to think about that, why I am good, because why you are going to propose solutions to them based on the IoT, because let's say you want to save your time, save their time, right? And you want to kind of better control about your environment, better control about your plants and weather condition, soil uh, conditions, and temperature, something like that. And also you want to cover more area. So those are the some kind of a thing you want to think about, that why you are proposing IoT based solution. So then what are the benefit if you do this IoT based solution to them? What are the benefit you are going to take? Something like, let's say if you do this IoT based solution, the farmer will get benefit, something like better crop, right? And also the better management, better control about their crop. So how optimally they can use fertilizer, how optimally they can use a water level, soil condition. Those are the things automatically we can capture through the IoT sensors. And also how you can save the cost, how you can do the repetitive tasks without getting involvement of the humans. You don't want to pay their labors, so it can be automated your systems, right? And also the remote monitoring with this, especially this pandemic situation. So there are things that you want to do some remote monitoring, how you can remotely control. So those are the benefit if you do IoT based solution for particular crop related problem. So those are the benefit it will get by the farmers. So that was kind of an example I was trying to tell you, this how this why and what relevant to you as well as the farmer, and also how farmer can think about that with this benefit, how he can make his success. That means how he can sell this their crop, and how he can plan the next cultivation, something like that. So those are the angle you want to think about that. So let me go into the design thinking part. uh, when it comes to the design thinking, so this is the typical set of 5 process where everybody has to go through to properly understand and then define the problem, and also ideation, and how you can come up with the small set of prototype. Then once you do the testing, it will hand it over to the end users. So from left to right, this is the process you want to go through in order to make a successful product, right? So that is the basic concept of design thinking. So this is relevant not only for this like kind of a hackathon. So this is the proper method, proper methodology which we use to develop a large scale software product. So some kind of a project, something like that. This is a kind of a well-known framework, but it totally up to you to customize this one, and each phases how you engage is your own thing. So there is no hard and fast rule saying that, okay, these are the stick set of rule where you want to stick to that and get the outcome. No, nothing like that. This is the framework where these 5 processes are fit into that framework, but within that framework you have flexibility to change something, and also you can think about something else and you can fit into this framework. So first one, so this is kind of a more important part. So design thinking, the first step is that empathy. So in this phase, what you are going to do is that, so you can see some key highlighted bold text. So that's why I highlighted here. So in this case, so how you can deeply understand your end customer or your farmer in this case, or the crop owners, so their problem statement, right? So in this phase, so this is a purely human centric design process. That means this phase you have to use your human power to communicate with these people. You have to sit with them and understand what they really need, right? So without guessing something, so you have to really get into their shoes. You have to think about from their angle, and you have to sit with them and get deeper understanding about that couple of things. So how they are doing right now, maybe they are how they do this, let's say planting, watering, fertilizing, crop cutting and everything. So based on your scenario, you need to understand, okay, how they are doing right now without any system or any proper method. Right now how they are doing this one, and also what are their challenges, you want to understand here, right? So then what are the tools, or what are the method you can use for this one? Actually it's a very simple. You can have a chat with them, you can listen to them, and you can do additional research on your own. That means reading. Let's say you can have a conversation with the farmer, and you can grab much as possible what is their pain point, what they are trying to do, and what they really need. That understanding is must, because this is their requirement gathering phase, this phase, right? So these are the things where you can use. You can chat with them, you can have a call with them. Best thing is that go and meet them, and also after that you can have a kind of a reading about that. If there are any things which they refer, maybe they are using some of the formal method to do some cultivation, so you can ask them what are the document or what are the method they are using for this one. So this phase one is kind of a gathering their requirement, pain point, and understand deeply about them, purely them, without any technology, without anything proposing. You need to understand what they are doing right now, what they want to do. When it comes to the second phase of this one, then after that, once you identify this their problem, so now you need to get those maybe documented. So you have to do some kind of a, let's say, groundwork after you do the initial requirement gathering. So then after that, maybe with individual or teams, now this is the phase you want to convert their problem to your version. That means they can tell various problems and how they are doing this right now, how they do is manually. So that's their day-to-day activities and the challenges which they are facing. Now this is the time, since we are going to give kind of a solution to them. So that's why the second phase, now you want to think about that, okay, how we can compile their problem statement to your own version. That means how you convert their problem to your version, because you are going to give a solution to them. So now you want to map that, right? For this phase, actually, now as a team, and also you need to kind of collaboratively work here and do the scoping. So in this phase, the scoping in the sense, let's say they can tell maybe 10 or 15 of their challenges and also their method they are using for to do the normal activities. But here you want to kind of add your own thought here, and also maybe you want to focus on that. Okay, I can't address their 10 pain points, but initial phase I'm going to address only 4 or maybe 2. For that 2 activities, you can focus on that. So that's where you want to narrow down their large scale problem statement and get into that to a small scope, and then try to go deep on that particular selected one or two use cases, one or two activities, and around that now you want to build your story. That's where I am telling that you want to convert their real world problem or their real world feedback and the challenges to your own framework, your own version, because now you are going to find a solutions to them, right? So then the third phase, once you define the scope for that particular one or two key activities, this is the phase your team collaboration, right? So you can get your team into one place and then put idea on top of that, how we are going to do these activities. So what we can do on top of that, that's where this ideation phase and brainstorming is very key important phase, the number 3 area here. Regardless of the technology or thought process, you have to come up with the team and put your own idea how we are going to crack, how we are going to build a solution for this particular selected one or two use cases, right? So then in this way, actually, this phase where you can, maybe you have to go back again to the phase one like you did in the initial requirement gathering. So after you put all this idea, some of these come up with the again the problem statement, some of these idea you can't implement, so there are practical situations, something like that. So that's where in this phase onward you have to go back again, phase one, meet again them and clarify some of these things. So this is actually the design thinking process is a kind of iterative process, right? So now uh, when it comes to the phase 3, so once you have put your all ideas, so then you may be thinking about that, okay, there are things we can do, so there are things we can't control, there are things we can control. Some of these confusions can happen, right? That's where you want to go back again to the real customer and clarify these things, right? So then that would be the, after you get the clarification, once you put your idea, you can get the clarification again and again with them. So then you are in a solid phase that you have selected couple of um, items, couple of activities. So then you have put your own idea to that, how I am going to make something on top of these selected ideas, right? So then the fourth phase is that prototyping. So this is the phase where you real get into make your hands dirty, right? Prototype in the sense you have to come up with the some tangible thing, tangible in the sense, so if you are building kind of a physical activity, physical related equipment or something, so this is the phase you have to build the basic building blocks, right? Or else if you are, maybe you are building kind of a application, mobile application or something, or web application or some software related thing, so then this is the phase you want to come up with the small set of the prototype where you can show them, right? Maybe it's a mobile application, computer application, or some kind of a physical device. Let's say if you are going to define drone related solution, or else let's say IoT based solution, so then this is the phase with the very little amount of sensors and little putting little effort of the application, and you want to build a very basic concept, very basic prototype where you can go and show to the customer, this is what we are going to build for you. With this one we are going to give this outcome, and this will solve your problem. These are the number of problems we identify in the phase one, and we narrow down it, and this is the prototype where it will give you a benefit which you are expecting from the end of this particular engagement. So that's where in the middle you will see, after you do a basic prototyping, just definitely you have to go back to the field, back to the customer and get the feedback, because there are things that cannot be, there are things we it's not practical. So that's why even though you have come up with the prototype, you have to go back and have a discussion with them to get the feedback, whether this is the right thing, whether this is, maybe let's say you are using a IoT based sensor based solution, but it's not practical to put into the field. that kind of a scenarios can be occurred. So that's why you want to go back again and get the feedback. So if you take in the final statement, since this is a prototype, you don't want to waste your entire time or most of the time to build this one, because this is a kind of a very basic thing, very basic concept. We are going to tell the end customer, this is the the smaller version of this one, the bigger version will come later, but we want to check the feasibility of this one. Are you okay to use this one? Are you aligned with the end goal? Is it possible or practical to put into the field this one? There may be some practical difficulties, maybe animal may be attacking to this, maybe there are a lot of things can happen. That's where you want to go back and have a discussion with them to tell, okay, this is the smaller version of this one. So then can you just let us know what is your feedback? Do we need to change this one? Something like getting that feedback is very important here, right? So then we can have this the testing purpose. Now, this is the final phase where you test your the things, right? Let's say if you build your the web application or mobile application or the device, so this is the phase you want to really get into there and do the testing with them, right, together. This is kind of another key thing, that you have to do this with the customer, with your end users, right? So then they also get to know, okay, how practically I can use this one, how feasible it is, right? Because remember, so this is the main key thing I want to highlight, because you are building this particular product or the service for them, not for you. That's where you want to keep interact with them and continuously get the feedback and test with them. So this is the cycle actually going through when you are designing this kind of a product or services for your end customers. This is the things that which I discussed. The 5 phase is not limiting to you only for this hackathon. So this is the general process where you want to have rethink about that and get into this framework. Once you fit into this framework, actually it is very easy, because maybe if you are a team, that would be fine. If you are individual, that's also fine, but my recommendation is that to have a kind of a work as a team, because when you are working as a team, you can get the different perspective, different ideas, different capabilities with each and every individuals. So that's where if you are work as a team, each phases you can break down, and you can assign each and every individual for these phases to get the requirement gathering, ideation, brainstorming, prototyping, the testing, right? So that's what the main message I want to give. Is there any question, or is there any things need to clarify as of now? Okay, anyway, if you don't have, that's fine. So but end of the session, so we have a separate Q&A session. You can ask any question regarding this one. So this is the framework which I want to cover, right? So then as a kind of a summary, so you will see here empathy, the first phase, you get their problems, right, what they need. This is the summary slide. If you want to take a screenshot, you can take it, or else I can share this slide deck with you later. So this phase, if you take the summary of this entire discussion what I had, so the first thing is that understand their problem, what they need, how to how they are doing right now, right? And main key outcome should be complete kind of a document with their details, the problem statement, what they are doing right now, what are they going to solve, something like that. If you have that document, this is your baseline. So then you can come to the definition, define phase. So then convert their problem to your own version, your own problem version. So then this is, you do a scoping of their problem and narrow down their requirement and go deeper. The ideation phase, if you go to this ideation phase, so this is you as a team discuss, collaborative, and put your idea and design your solution. This is the phase you start designing a solution. If you are, let's say, solution is based on software, so then let's say mobile application, so then this is the phase you do a prototyping, start the solution designing part. You are drawing these screens and etc. If you are doing, let's say, physical activity or maybe IoT or drone related implementation, so this is where you want to think about that, okay, which sensor I am going to buy, so what are the things I want to collect as of now, and based on the customer's requirement, what are the things I want to take it to my near, right? So this is where you are sketching your solution. So then when it comes to the prototyping, this is your the smaller version of implementation, maybe digital, maybe physical, maybe virtual one. So in this phase, you are building something which you can shareable with customer, so then show to the customer, get the feedback, uh, and reiterate again back to, maybe you can go back from the prototyping phase to, you can, maybe you have to go back to the again empathy. I then come back again, defining solution again, ideation again, prototype, something like that. This is the iteration process you will see here. If you centrally put design thinking process, anyway it's an iteration process, it go round and round until you get your proper product for your end customer. Then once you do the prototyping part, there is the final part of that is testing. This is test with the customer, because you don't do it isolate, because when you are as a team defining this solution, once you do the prototyping, maybe you 4 or 5 people, they are very much familiar with this technology, how to use, because you are the one who create that. You have flexibility, you know in and out how carefully you want to use, where to put, where to keep, and everything you know. But when you go to the end customer, maybe the perspective is far different. They will say, okay, I don't know how to operate this one, I don't know where to put this one, how to, I don't know how I can take it to my hand, something like that. That's where this is very important. Once you do this prototyping, you have to go back to them, and with them you want to do this testing, so then again you will get the feedback. So that's why this is a feedback loop. So then once you get the feedback, maybe you have to change the prototype again, right? So that's why, so you are creating this particular product, service, or outcome for them, not for you, right? So that's where you want to keep the customer centric approach. That means your end customer should be your goal. So you have to build whatever the product or service which you are building to cater their requirement, how easily they can use. So that is the thing you want to keep in mind. Okay. So then this is the summary of that which I discussed. So if you see here, so design thinking, if you take that, so left side is the most challenging area. So in here you will see it's like a kind of the string attached to the ball, right? So it's everywhere, right? Problem space, if you carefully handle that empathy and kind of ideation, define the problem statement area, if you carefully deal with this one, the problem spacement, so then it's a straight solution for the, when it comes to the solution designing part, right? So these are the two key area you want to keep in mind. Problem space, you spend much as possible time with this space, problem spacement, and get more clarity, get more idea, define scope, and everything you have to do in this left side of that. So when it comes to the solution designing part, let, because you are building the solution based on the requirement and the problem statement you capture with this first 2 or 3 space, first 2 3 activities. So then once you come to the solution space, you will see ideation to prototype and testing. So it's a kind of a, based on your building blocks, it's a kind of a straightforward approach. It can be smooth if you do the right thing in the beginning. If you identify a problem properly, then it will come to smooth end. Otherwise it will be a kind of a mess, right? Because that's why, so there are, you maybe have experience, even I also have experience. So there are brilliant product we can build, right? But when it comes to the end users, if they said, okay, I don't want this one, I haven't seen any value of this particular product, So then what is the purpose of building that kind of product? So there you have experience, right? So that's why, like I earlier explained, you want to keep in mind why and what. Properly you have to answer this question from your then customers, why you want to do this one. If I do this thing, what are the benefits you will be getting? That's the key thing I want to communicate with you with this session, right? So maybe if you have any question, we can wait till to end of this session, and I can take it question. If there are anything right away, if I want to answer, I can answer question, right? Or else I can hand it over to the Kishore. Kishore will go through say, set of identified the areas and kind of a potential ideas. He will share with you what are the areas you want to look into that, and some of this idea when it comes to the agri related, and also some kind of successful implementation problem definitions to the product side, how we deal with them, something like that story you will hear from the Kishore. Yeah, Kishore. Diniti, maybe you can connect to Kishore if
Thank you very much, sir, for a wonderful session. Next, joining with us all the way from India, our neighboring country, we have Mr. Krishore Kumar Shetty, Senior Technical Leader, Azure IoT and MR at Microsoft India. We'll be talking to you about industry scenarios and how technology can help in agriculture. We are very pleased to have you, sir, and the platform is yours.
Hey, thank you, Diniti, and thank you for all of you giving me this opportunity, and I appreciate your time. I think my colleague Indika went through how we can do the design session, design thinking approach, and what are the ways to think and what are the stages and things like that. So the next couple of half an hour or more, I will run through the real time how we can apply in agriculture and build solutions. I am part of team in Microsoft where I am responsible for building agri solutions. So I have worked with a lot of agri startups and looking forward to work with some of you who are going to start. That's the hope I carry, because our countries like us, agri is the core thing. I think it is the time for us to apply technology and take that to a next level of productivity. Let me share. I am not very well versed with the Zoom. So can you see my screen, Diniti?
yes, Kishore, we can see. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You can find me in LinkedIn. I keep posting a lot of agriculture required related things we are doing. I think Indika mentioned there are different steps. I think again I repeat the same 5 steps. Design thinking is the 5 steps. Empathize means that unless it is not there in our heart to solve somebody's problem, I think we should not attempt that. That is like you cannot do the right thing. It is empathize, and these are all steps. I did my design thinking from Berlin, Germany university. I put that you can do it online as well. International Business Management Institute, Berlin. They have a fantastic online course if you want to pursue. That's the reason I put it. And steps.
Kishore, sorry to interrupt you. So I think you are not in a presenter mode. So still we have seen the 2 slides.
Okay. Let me go back. I'm sharing. What else I have to do here?
can you just click the slideshow mode? We'll see.
Where is
Kishore?
it?
No,
Yeah.
the PowerPoint slideshow mode. Just go to the
Oh,
right hand down of the right hand side. So there's a something kind of a icon. Yes, yes.
yeah. Clear now?
Still the same. Because Diniti or Akil, do you have any idea? Because we are familiar with
Sorry.
Teams. We don't know about much about
Yeah,
the Zoom
difficult.
platform. Sorry about that. Uh,
Hi, Manula, can you check it? Indika?
yes. Yeah, Chamikara.
Yes, Indika, I think Ashwini has the extended view monitor probably. So if you can move the see
Single.
the yes.
Kishore, are you in to extended the window? Or
Yeah, I am.
or else what we
I'm
can
on.
do is just maximize this, just collapse this the left side of this one. Yeah.
Okay, I think if I run this, it doesn't commit because I'm in the slideshow mode. Slideshow mode is not coming.
No, still
One,
we
one
are seeing the
second. Yeah, 1 second. Let me disconnect and let me go to screen. Is it better now?
not really, Kishore. I think it's the same which we can see, but what we can do is actually just end the slideshow. I think if you can
Okay.
maximize it would be great.
Okay. Okay. I think I do not know what is the real problem is. It looks like.
Yeah, can you? Yeah, exactly. You do
Yeah.
that one. Yeah, just
Yeah.
and also can you
Hopefully,
just just can you click the little arrow on the right side? Yeah, go up. Yeah, that one. Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
So then it will show the maximum window size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry
Now
for
great.
the sorry for this. I do not know because I am not using the Zoom for a long time, so I didn't figure it out. But I think all that technical aside, let's focus. I think what I was trying to say is, if you want to pursue more on design thinking, there are a lot of courses, but these steps are very important. You understand the core situation, impact, and feeling. Hey, I have to solve something. It has to come from your heart. Then you will make that a reality. And define the problem. The most of the time we miss to define the problem with the empathy. Sometimes we are very practical. Okay, this is just I will measure a temperature and I record it. I think you empathize more and understand, oh, this is a temperature is very critical because he is sick. That's the kind of an that define the problem with empathy. Ideate the solution ideas, more creative and all, build the solutions and things like that. I think Indica did a great job of explaining. I think test is the solution works. It's not helps, but it should excite. Otherwise your solution falls short of it. You should excite. So let's empathize. I give certain problems or certain realities I will bring to empathize. So when we started the journey of agriculture and building the startup ecosystem, working with the startup ecosystem, we started learning the couple of facts. This helps us to empathize. If somebody says, hey, I'm not growing my oil seeds to the extent, for example, if you look at India, oil seed production is zero point 0.3, and Malaysia it is 1.2, and worldwide best is 1.2. Malaysia is growing better, but I should know the facts. Hey, I understand oil seeds are not doing great in India. How can I improve that? The facts, we should have the facts. Suppose you are getting on to agree, you should learn, read, and understand. Apart from your knowledge, you try to gain more knowledge. I think that's where it will help you to empathize. I think these we have worked with McKinsey, bought a lot of things into a picture. I think two things I wanted to share is our yield in Asia is very less. For example, rice, 3.6, there are measures you can look at it, 3.6 tons per acre. If you go to the world, it is, the 5.4. Largely, for example, Indonesia does rice better, and China does better, rest are not. The pulses, we do, China is doing better and Thailand is doing better. Wheat, comparatively, China and India is doing better. I think in this, you can find, what is the real thing happening at Sri Lanka, as well as, each country. I missed it that this is an old record. Uh, and food wasted, productions to consumption, we waste a lot of food during the, the production, post harvest, processing, we throw, we waste. A lot of things are happening. This is like a facts. You have to start finding the facts, and then some observations you have to try, kind of small experiments, feel that okay, things are okay. This is like, personal tests what we did, the Microsoft India, we tried to collaborate and try, saving the optimization per hectare. We have tried, eggplant and tomato with, the greater nutritions and things like that. We have increased 34%, tomatoes 84%. Then the supply chain, then applying AI technologies, try to improve. I will run through that. What are those things we have done? And agree opportunities. We have to understand. For example, you are tomorrow starting up. Okay, it solves somebody's problem, but it has to change, bring something economics on the table. Either it should improve the cash flow to the farmer, or and indirectly, like, it has to be a business model, sustainable business model for you as well. Most of you wanted to become an entrepreneur, then you have to have your own sustainable financial models for yourself also, and helping others. I think you have to look at it that, the model where we can. So huge opportunities, how it is comes, veg, fruits processing, and there is a, larger foreign investments and things like that. You might have heard India farm, we are reforming. There is a protest, but I think it will today or tomorrow. There is a lot of reformation happening in the agri. Then a lot of, companies will come, start helping, and the whole ecosystem will change. I think what is our understanding in terms of empathizing is we have identified agriculture as a primary use cases and an auxiliary scenarios. Primary is, there are multiple steps, 3 steps. One is soil preparations and pre-sowing, sowing and post-sowing, crop management. I think this is where a lot of opportunities, harvesting with the machines and automations, post-harvesting from the field to the warehouse, processing and things like that, and then the processing and delivering it to the final distribution. Auxiliaries maybe the farm animal management, farm equipment, and aqua, and a lot more other things. Having said all those things, okay, what we went and started studying a problem in India and try to apply. So we started like, the banana, pomegranate, and grapes. how they are currently, year on year data we have plotted. What is that is happening? You see that, banana per productivity in kgs per plant is something, the best is somewhere in Maharashtra is 66, and rest of the part of India is, it's lesser and lesser, and things like that. So then we try to do kind of an precision agriculture. I will talk about the solutions later. Then the smart in irrigations, right time putting the right water and nutrients and things like that, and we could able to increase another 25% in this area, and another 18% in this area. What are the farmers problem? We have did a survey. Lower, the farmers always say that okay, yield is very lower compared to every year, and they use higher input usage. They use more water which is not required. They use more fertilizers because their investments are more. Finally, farmer, I have put $5,000, I am only getting $8,000, so it is not worth of waiting 3 months. That's the kind of an economics they will work on. And higher water usage, and water is a scarcity in some areas, even in India, hopefully in other countries as well. There are some areas affluent of waters, but some areas, so it's optimal usage. Because for the water you have to use the pumps and all, electricity bill and continuous manual interventions. So then we have built kind of an precision agriculture solutions. I will talk about. It is like the usage, we have reduced 67 crore liters total water saving we have calculated. I think Indian 2.1 crore additional revenues. We have done it in kind of an set of farmers we have studied, and this is what is defining the problem, whether that problem exists, whether we can change that problem. We have, it's kind of a pilot, even not even prototype. We just manually we use it, all those things to get to collect. Now, once we have this understanding, then we can apply the knowledge on top of it and build the solutions, different solutions. So one of our sort of partner later took this thing, and we have built the solutions. I will share that partner website. You can go there. So why I am bringing this slide is the problem definitions should be very clear. Empathy, define the problem. You have to define the problem such a way that with a lot of data, this is what we have learned, but you can get this data from the government sources, or research somebody else made. So you have to collect a lot of data for your things. The next one is solution prototype. Farmer always says, I do not have a control, and that is a problem. No control. Oh, we empathized. Oh, farmer do not have a control. If the rain comes, he do not have an option. He will leave entire crops to spoil. Or we can do a weather forecast and inform him early so that he can be prepared. The taking the control back, the problem control back. We did a prototype. I will show in a while. And then another problem is lack of awareness. If the farmer takes the product to selling, they say your product quality is not good, they will pay him less. The uh, the farmer do not have the real data, or he can't see the quality data. I think what we are working on is the quality innovation. You can register what we are doing, just to bring in what Indica said, is the field testing. We have built a solution which is Qualix. So now what we are doing is we are doing a road show. We are taking this machine, going to the farmer, taking their produce, measuring in front of them, and showing them, hey, this is your quality. So what you have to do next is we are setting up, asking the government to help. We are setting up nearby a quality station. Farmer can go validate their quality, and they can go to the seller and say, buyer and say, hey, I have already tested the quality. I know what it is, and you have to pay me the good rates. This is the way, because we understand this problem. This is where we are going to solve that. How we are going to solve that, I think, let me share here. If you can see this, I will reshare again. Oh, yeah. These are all, publicly available. I think I will run through the colleagues. Okay. It is already a public domain. For example,
Colleagues, a rapid platform to assess the quality of spices. Powered by Agnext. Let's see how it works. Step 1 is to switch on the machine. Step 2. Select the commodity. For example, we are selecting turmeric. Step 3. Fill the turmeric in the container properly and place it on the machine. Step 4. Press Start button. Now, it will take less than a minute to assess the quality. Step 5. See the results on the screen. For example, it is showing curcumin percentage of the sample. Key features of Qualix. Rapid testing, in just 30 seconds. Portable and battery operated. Instant result on phone. Cost effective. Software for managing test results.
Yeah, what I want to define is, you see that,
Cost
Yeah.
effective. Software.
Two things we wanted, the rapid testing. Your quality has to come quickly so that farmer can test, or whoever wanted to test. And it should be portable because, it can be carried to a locations where, the farm yield is produced. See, these are all design thinking. Hey, if I make a machine and fix it somewhere, no, it doesn't work. Instant result, even they can get it on the phone using app. We have built the app, machine to app. Very cost effective. It's not the one machine. They can lease it as a model. We are working, leased model, or company come and set up a nearby, close by stations, and the software for managing test results. That means you can record that and do this. So what we are solving previously, we found genuinely, okay, farmers do not have any idea of what is the quality of produce they are producing, and they are cheated by the system, and there is no standard way to validate. So this is a genuine problem. Looks like we are empathizing with the farmer. Hey, yes, farmers are paid less. Even they do. Nobody has the clue whether it is this turmeric is better quality or not. By the look, all turmeric looks same, but it is all its cumin internal presence is what is matters for producing a better quality products out of turmeric. That's important. And this is also a Microsoft partner. We are working day in, day out. Now we are starting testing a tea quality which is approved by Government of India. So 23rd there is some sessions you can attend. The next one is all about like this is an the FarmBot is a New Zealand a startup company. Both of them are startups. So this startup is all about this is more
Families
of
and
automation.
communities no longer have control over how their food is being produced, and as a result, our health and the environment is in jeopardy. Let's take back control. FarmBot is humanity's open source CNC farming machine that automatically grows food for you right in your backyard, keeping you in complete control. FarmBot precisely sows seeds in any pattern you want and then waters each plant based on its type, age, soil conditions, and more. Using the onboard camera and advanced computer vision, FarmBot can scan your garden to detect weeds and then take action immediately. You can monitor your garden and plan the season from any phone, tablet, or computer. No coding is required. Using the Farm Designer, you can lay out your plants like a video game, and with built-in data for common garden veggies, you'll be guided through creating an optimal layout each season. Our custom sequence editor offers a no-code programming environment that anyone can use, even young and non-technical users, to program their device to take care of plants just the way you want. And with support for variables and traditional programming logic, power users can explore complete freedom and control. We've gone to great lengths to design, manufacture, and source only the highest quality components. And because everything is made from corrosion-resistant aluminum, stainless steel, and UV-resistant plastics, FarmBot can be placed indoors, in a greenhouse, or outside. We've come a long way since the 3D printed prototypes from years past.
The idea here is it's a design thinking. How beautiful is. We have seen CNC machine in the manufacturing shop floor. Some of you might have visited a CNC machine. So all we wanted, like, working with this startup, the young startup guys is, hey, why not we create same as a manufacturing floor? We transform entire farming into a manufacturing floor and get the better control of that, and we bring the automation. I think this is the whole design, creativity we thought and we brought into, now it is started deploying. It can be your, the in-house garden, greenhouse, or something like that. What I am trying to bring is, see, where is the manufacturing and where is the agriculture? The model completely, we are inversing the model. We are trying to make the agriculture area as a CNC machine kind of a thing, manufacturing kind of a thing, and then we automate and take the control. I think that is the great idea, design thinking. I think tomorrow, the food, we all might live in urbanization, urban areas, but I think food scarcity will be a challenge. But I think sustainability, a lot of people in urban areas are trying to grow something in their balconies, something in their backyard, something in the small spaces and things like that, which you may be going outside for a vacation or something like that. How to manage from that point of view to optimally produce the yield. So the whole idea is empathizing, understanding, and creatively thinking, hey, let's make this as a manufacturing shop floor. So the next one is, I think I will not much show on this. I will give the links to you guys later. You can run through. I think you can see my screen, right? Again. Diniti, you can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay. Okay. We are somewhere here. I have showed you. There is something, you see that, it is, I have also shared. It's not a webinar. We have asked, hey, we are bringing these devices to your plant. You can come over there and, we can help you to test that. And in this, I have shown, we have converted the manufacturing kind of a lathe machine design into an agri. That is, this comes only through design thinking. Otherwise, nobody will think out of the box. Design thinking help us to think out of the box. That is very important. Then in every country, if you look at it, it is kind of a value chain. It's the kind of a value chain. I think in Sri Lanka also it's common. In India, we have a lot of startups. They fresh to farm to kitchen. they will tell okay, smaller startups, okay, they will say I will grow organic and I will deliver it to your kitchen. That means your door. So there is a lot of digital value chain areas you can create. For example, in India, what we are trying to build is, value chain. So this is majorly, a portal or an, the larger thing where all the farmers, agro-scientists, Ministry of Agricultures, other agri bodies, ENAM. ENAM is basically, National Agri Management. There is a separate government board, they define. So then there are like, the smarts, we can build lot of apps and, people can use that apps, but, these are all funded by governments and things like that. This is what we call digital value chain. Each country is spending a lot of money to build this digital value chain because helping the farmer. A lot of public projects are there in this area. India government is also investing a lot here. So we are participating and, suppose what is the one idea is, for example, I buy a sensor, soil sensor, I install, so there will be app available. I just pay, say, $1, and it will give me my soil informations, and it will also suggest me, okay, which crops to grow and what not. This will become an government services, and I have to pay less. Then, now I have made videos available, but I think I will run it quickly in the interest of time. This is a startup, Yara. Check it. You can go to YouTube. You can see that. What is the empathy here? Farmers unable to understand the nutrition challenge. Usually, in India, because my own family have come from farming. Okay, we'll put the rice after 20 days. My grandfather or great grandfather told 20 days. You put something after 80 days. So we are following that. We do not know whether that nutrition is there or not. See, as we are kid, our kids, we will show to the doctor. Doctor will say you might be having calcium deficiency or something like that. Vitamin B12 we give so that we stay healthy. Same is the plant. I think this is like, if you take a picture of that, it will tell you any nutrition deficiencies and things like that. Say, what's the empathize? Farmers unable to understand nutrition challenge. Problem, farmer do not know how to detect nutrition deficiency. Bare eyes, if few plants are having that problem, they do not know. If they see due to magnesium deficiency, there is, pale color patches comes on a pumpkin leaves. He will not be observing that, but it is magnesium. If you can feed the magnesium, then plant will become healthy. Problem definition. Solution ideas, AI based object detections and identify what is exactly exact element missing. In this case, magnesium, some cases potassium missing, some cases nitrogen missing, some cases phosphorus missing. It's the same like a human blood test. The idea comes from, hey, if I do a blood test, there's a hemoglobin deficiency, there is a cholesterol issues and so many things. So this is out of the box. We wanted to bring here with this idea, this startup guys, they built this. You can install and see that, this built a prototype, give farmer a test. This is one of the cool ideas. Similarly, the next one is disease detections. So if this kind of insect comes or any insect comes, usually in India, I do not know other places, there is one standard, pesticide we will use. Maybe they will die, may not be, they will die, or that's the best to use, harmful to use. We do not know that. Farmer unable to understand the diseases properly. Farmers do not know how to exact diseases and diagnostics. AI based again, AI and things like it is same. Like if you go to the doctor, they will diagnose and give it to you, checking. Otherwise, if you got a fever, you do not know why it has come. You might be taking some medications, it might cure, or it might, aggravate. So this is another, out of the box design thinking. Plantix is a German based, a startup we have worked. Now it is very, very popular in India. We have customized to Indian language, because India has more than, several languages, 18 languages. This is again BASF Agro. Now what happened? These two ideas are really, simple ideas, but now what happens? These companies who create the pesticide, who create this, they started coming again. Hey, they have created their own, applications, help them, the farmer, they started giving it freely, but, they will try to promote their products, what is that and things like that. This is kind of an micro e-commerce, B2B e-commerce. This side is, lot of companies are flourishing, and lot of agri, chemical or fertilizer companies are providing their own apps as well. I think this is another opportunities. Again, UPIL Kisan, it is very for pulse diseases detection. Again, it is again, based on this company. We have worked with this company to create, but they are very specific into pulses and brinjal, their product. So they have created an app, and this is, I leave it to you. You go through this application, understand, start defining, your design thinking learning. How we will empathize the problem, define the problem, think your own way, what is the idea, and then, you can read about this, rallies. This is by the rallies, that is another company. And this is, IFCO Kisan. uh, Again, I leave it to you, but I will bring this, I will share this document. So what I am trying to leave with you is, you have to start learning, what is that problem, how they have empathized. These are the startups, because you have to learn from others, and you cannot make the same mistakes. How they have learned, what is the ideas, then you get lot of info. You can bring the outside in. This is Mahadan. This is like, the micro financing. And this is Gromer, another one. This is AgroStar. Again, AgroStar is kind of a platform which helps. Suppose I'm a big farmer, I will grow a lot of things. I can start like, it's like an, your Amazon, or, other Flipkart in India. We order things, we can sell as a small vendor. Here is a sell as a small vendor. You show your products, system will come and buy from you. That's how the power of platform is. This is again, investors, for example, you need some informations on that. This is again a farm bee selling. This is, gramophone. Again, this is detection, expert advice, and talking to the farmer. Farmer will say, hey, my brinjal is doing better. He can share, he can help with others. It's a collaboration platform. Then there is an IFCO Bazaar. This is run by, all the buyers. It's like an, a middle man. You go and sell it in a middleman. This is a digital middleman platform. Make it easy for a farmer to seller. So with this, I think I am done. I try to bring a lot of industry perspective in agri. Couple of industry, there are a lot more to do. A couple of industry perspective, how we have applied the design thinking, how we have solved some of the problems. There are multiple problems, multiple opportunities, and things like that. I think you are the generation you wanted to change. I think that is how I see all your generation, X generation. I think looking forward, if anything you are doing, any help we can extend, we are more than welcome. reach out in case you need any advices and things like that. You have Indica and our other colleagues locally available there. I think with this, thank you very much. Have a great day to all of you. Hope I am on time and hope this session is interesting to all of you. Over to you, Diniti.
Thank you very much, sir. It was a great session. I think now it's time to move on to a Q&A session. Joining with Mr. Indika Dalugama and Mr. Kishore Kumar Shetty is Mr. Chamikara Pereira, Vice President for Business Development at Altria Consulting Private Limited. If the audience have any questions which you would like to direct to our resource personals, please feel free to unmute and ask your question or type the question in the chat box. You can unmute yourselves and ask direct the questions, or you can type them in the chat box.
Hi all. So Diniti Chamikara here.
Hi, sir.
Yeah. So while they come up with some questions, so I will take some of the areas actually we would like to talk about, especially areas on how to synthesize and analyze on your kind of a product, and again how the product thinking will do on the design thinking, and again how to having a persona building. So these are the bit of areas actually we could not cover. So I think thanks to Mr. Indika and Kishore. So one thing is about, I think when you are design thinking, so on especially when you are thinking to find a solution, you are trying to solve something. So so when you are trying to solve something, one thing is about what you do. So we all do, we do some Googling. So we go through Google and do some search, whether do we have anything like this. Very recently I went through some of the document, not the document, basically it's a video was shared by Mr. Chamikara Pereira. So in there he was trying to show what they do. So what they are actually doing on the innovation center, they are going through all latest patents what are publishing in the US. So they are looking at those, and they are looking at what kind of solutions people are looking for, the solving some problems. So when it's come to the agriculture, even I think one thing is about what we have to do is whatever the problem we are trying to solve, you will definitely will do some research and find out whether do we have any kind of a solution found in the world for this same scenario. Oh, my scenario, how my scenario, my problem is different from the others. So what you have to do is you have to think of think about on your problem, what people have done. Do some research and see what is the similar things and how it is different from the others, and understand about your problem indifferently. So whether do you have are you going to find a solution which is already available in the world, or you're going to solve very differently. Because there can, I think even the previous presentation, so we were telling showing about things were done in some other country, we are bringing that solution. But whenever bringing some other solutions, you have to localize it, because the people who are thinking in the country is different from the one country to another, how they absorb it. So you can think of that kind of even solution when you're trying to productize something. So you can think how you can localize it, how the people, because when it's come to even in Sri Lanka, the people with the agriculture sector, different people are there. Some are educated, some are not so digitalized people. So you have to think about those as well. right? So when it's come to synthesizing, then you can do your all the then you have to do is you analyze about all these things, how you're have your problem, what would be your viewpoints about it. So that kind of thing you have to do very first when it come to finding a solution for your problem. So, and about the other thing about the product, so which I want to mention about how the product thinking will help for the designing process. So whenever you think about a product, so one thing is you will definitely have, because you are trying to find a solution for some scenario in the world where you have there is a problem, you are trying to solve it. So on that you will have your one problem statement, and what's my goal on that, so what I'm going to do. So with the empathize, I think like Mr. Indika was explaining about the overall, so in that one he was telling about this empathizing. So on that, I think give me 1 second. Yeah, on the empathy point, you're trying to find a solution. Some people already have a problem, or people right now they want to find a what you are trying to do. Based on that, you can give a you will provide some people or give their life some kind of a betterment, right? So on that, so what you can basically you are coming up designing something. On the designing, one thing about when you know about this kind of product, you always think about whether my ultimate goal am I achieving with that. So when you are designing some when you think about in a product way again, so on the product, if you're trying to add any features, right, whatever the features you are going to add, so you will always will know whether this feature is important for your product or not. So on that, you will be very easily you can decide am I taking a wrong path or not. So you are simply you can select, because when you are selecting, for example, yesterday I had a chance to see some of reputed university in Sri Lanka. They have designed machine learning kind of solution for the health sector. So looking at that in the product, even what I have seen is, so they have done pretty good work. So it's about finding about what kind of diseases you currently have when studying about your some of your looking at your age and BMI. So multiple factors they have considered through a machine learning. They produce about what kind of diseases you may have. And they are recommending about think look at the do some testing on that. So on that, what they have done is they have think of about the website, but when in the website you have to enter stuff. So looking at that, what I understood is there are so many things actually when you're productizing your solution. So there you have to think about do I want to have these features on my website. Because if you when you are design something, when you start something, if you mixed up so much of features, what will happen is, so in that what your end results or whatever you're going to give for someone, they will again confuse, and it will people will your target crowd will not use it, because when it is too complicated, they will not use it. So you have to be very focused on what you are trying to provide. So be on that. So that's something you have to think on. So when you product thinking, so designing process, so you can select what features you should have or not. So I think okay, we have multiple questions. Do we have?
Yes, sir. There are a few questions directed in the chat box.
Okay.
There's one from Dushanti. How will Agrithon help us build up our products and start our own business?
Indika?
I think that's something Akhil can answer, how the next step of this particular the hackathon outcome. Once you come up with a great idea, so the next step is that how they are going to connect the industry and some kind of investors to make them their own startup based on the product. I think Akhil is the right person to answer that question, I guess, Vinity.
Yes, sir. So for now, we'll move on to the next question. It's from Patiranga. The benefit of agricultural automation is mostly farmers. But what we have in Sri Lanka is small scale farmers who can monitor the agriculture plots on their own. What is your opinion about this and how to face this challenge?
Yeah, I think the Patirang, I think I will take this question. So yes, I think what you're telling about this agriculture automation. So agriculture automations, I think we are thinking mainly on one aspect is about, only on the farmer side. But I think in agriculture, we can look it in a different ways. So some of the, whenever we are thinking about the agriculture automations, we are always thinking on, for example, I know in Sri Lanka, there is a very big mango farming happening. So on that, again, the automation wise, I think, so what you're thinking, always, we thinking in the big scenarios. But when you take even on a small scenarios for the automation part of it, some of the, when it's a small, we can, even provide them some kind of, for example, we have small farmers, so which they don't have, proper digitalization, help them on the, finding out some information. I think when it comes to automation, for some extent, for Sri Lankan context, might not. For the small farmers, it will not. But we would be able to, find more technical solutions or digitized solutions for them, even, helping them through apps. I think there was some scenario was showing even on, finding out, pesticides and whatever things for them to, provide, help. But agriculture automations, I do agree with you. The large scale farmers, for some extent, yes, it's true, but there can be some other automations even can be done on the agriculture for the small farmers as well. Indika, do you have anything to add on that?
Yeah, I agree with you, Chamikara, and also my perspective on that is that yes, there's a challenge, but like Chamikara mentioned, there are actually services. The maybe the Patiran, right? Patirage. The question is that how the small farmers can invest such a money to do the automation, something like that, and also mainly the infrastructure cost, how they can bear based on the crop. Versus the cost they are going to invest on the infrastructure side. Yes, there are some solutions. So there are some parties actually you can take their service as a rent. So then they come and do their the automation part, and they charge based on the kind of the usage. There are some models something like that where we can utilize for that. And also uh, before that, going to that level as well, it just purely whether you are the small or the big farmers, it it comes to the question of why and what. So right, because even though you are small or large, there are some small farmers that they are, the area is very small maybe, but they are the crop or they are cultivating maybe strawberry, maybe something else, that's why something like that. It depend on the profit margin or their income versus the expenditure. So that's where before we do any of these things, we need to evaluate that, okay, whether this is feasible. That is one thing. And also based on that, we can take a decision, okay, how we can help on the small farmers with go for the some other services, something like how they can take as a service. There are some companies I know that within Sri Lanka, they are renting their drones. So drone as a service. What they do, the farmer does not want to invest on the drone and the software. So the people will come and do entire the farm monitoring and everything based on the their equipment, and they will tell us, okay, for in order to this number of hectares I want to analyze and give the recommendation, this is my cost. There are some model, and also there are some challenges. That's what my thinking.
Yeah, I think definitely I agree with both of you, Chemikara and Indica. I think we should not jump into like, the larger automations or something like that. Sometimes very small thing will help. I think couple of years back when, a decade back or, 15 years back when, we are going through, a telecom transformation. So there is one company in India, started like, giving weather forecast on SMS. I think that really helped, the farmers to at least plan and think of something, the accurate, that is the small thing. You give them or start somewhere very small. You no need to get onto an automations and bring it. Other way is Indica's point of view is you no need to own a tractors or something like that. For example, in India, owning a tractor a big farmer can do, mid or a low end farmer cannot do. Now the tractor companies itself is providing tractor as a services, but we need to build a platform or a ecosystem how it will reach to a customer, maybe an app integrating, collaborating, all those things. The next thing is some information, pushing him some information. Hey, looks like onion prices today's, you will do a lot of crawling on the web and you see onion prices are this, maybe predict tomorrow will be this. Some kind of a basic informations can change a lot of things that a farmer. Then they start trusting at the technology, and you can build on top of that. All these challenges you are bringing it are real good design thinking challenges, which I have shown. The tea vendor, tea in India, the large tea buyers like the Tata Tea will send a agent, hey, go buy the teas from farmer. The agent, it depends upon agent. Agent is in good mood, he will say your tea is good, your tea quality is bad. He will decide upon. Farmers, there is no technology. There is one startup, they have bought this device. So farmer can pay him, say, together, $1 or $2. This company will send a box there. They will check in front of them and they will show this is what, I have qualified my test. That is the changing economics. You have to work out, your solution. You should work out what is the economic side of it, how we will monetize that. You monetize farmer with 130 SMS weather forecast, 1 rupees a month was one company provided. It was millions of farmers. It was a huge business for that company. I will share that story later. So this is how we have to think. In design thinking, one problem has multiple associated problem. You have to go around and try to figure out multiple ways to bring that solutions into the market. I think not just stop. There is where design thinking, hey, there is a problem, I know there is farmer economy, lot of things are there. Hey, I will apply design thinking, or I will think innovatively, bring different solutions. That is the kind of an the empathy, applying our heart and apply our creativity. And I think every problem, I will not say all the problem, I think most of the problems we can solve using a lot of different way of thinking. I think
Yeah.
that is my perspective here.
Yes, it is. So a little thing I want to add actually. So since you are from the agriculture, industry, so you know about what's happening. So one of my recommendation is, I don't know for what extent have you done a kind of a research with the farmers and the respective agriculture, workers. Do you have anything about, what are their common issues? Do you know what are the common issues they have. We might have a small scale farmers where they don't even own more than 1 acre of the land, but they do agriculture. But have you ever done any kind of a questionnaire or some kind of a collection of problems what they have, and have you analyzed what are the similarity between those? Then I think you will get a lot of ideas how you can solve them, some of those things. But when it's come to the agriculture, it's end to end, I'm telling, not only the farmers. So when it's come to even on the production to the customer, so how you can, so if you have done kind of a research or kind of even on a survey, what are the problems you have, what they have to face, then you will come up so much of new innovations with regard to the entire process. I think best way I recommend is, if you do collect those things, then you will know what are the problem statements you are going to solve. Because this is a very area I see people have not touched, even in Sri Lankan on industry wise, even on the top with the manufacturers, even they have not even touched to finding solutions for that. I think this design thinking, this whole this thing, this program, what I think Rotary Club was organized, and that we will give you that kind of a flavor, what you can find, and on how you can design a solution or a product for a given problem. So rather we are giving thinking of providing you some kind of a solutions. I would really love to hear from you guys what are the common issues, and kind of we can help. So how we can find more technology, or how we can put design thinking into solving your own problems. Diniti, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have a question from Munawar. We have a full system on a particular problem related to agriculture. But in our system, the artificial intelligence is a small part, but with all the necessary parts. Do you expect only the artificial intelligence? How about a full system with artificial intelligence?
Indika, would you like to answer on that?
Yeah, let me take that. Yeah. So I think totally fine. Totally fine. It does not need to be comes with the AI. As far as you are covering the end customer requirement, right? So that is the key thing. Whether we are going to use high-end technology or low-end technology, it does not relevant, right? So whether if you are fulfilling the customer requirement, that's it. Like the Kishore mentioned, there are some even dialogue I can remember. So there are some services through the SMS you can get some weather data and etc. Likewise, even with the small SMS, that if that going to solve your problem, I think that's good. But why we kind of talking about some of these AI based computer vision and some kind of IoT, some kind of a high-end technology. So those will add on, those will give a kind of additional benefits to the system as well as the end customer, right? For example, if you have a AI-based solution integrated to your full system, like Kishore mentioned, how you can detect some diseases on the plant trees, right? So it's a simple take a photo and it will decide, okay, so this is the based on the accuracy, this is the disease on this particular plant, something like that. That's the kind of prediction that we can do with the AI. So that's why we are kind of pushing, or we are kind of emphasizing you guys to think in a multiple way and also use latest technology, which will give you a kind of a additional benefit with the kind of a lesser less I would say effort, and also kind of a cheaper price. So that's my advice. It does not need to be fully AI based system as far as you are covering the full requirement. But think about that, because you want to evolve your product, right? You can't run particular the system for all long. So that's why, because the end customer requirement change time to time. So that's where you need to have flexibility. Your system should give something unique to the end customer. Maybe your right now system, you may not have a kind of a competitor, but if some competitor comes and give the same functionality with some other additional benefit, then definitely end customer will go for the new one, because it will give the agility, give the flexibility, give more features, and give more flexibility to their run their business. So that's why we are saying that you need to think in a way that how you can evolve the product, and as well as how you can adopt, open your platform to adopt new technologies. Yeah. um, Chamikar or Kishore, you want to add something there?
No, I think you have rightly summarized. I think what technology, whether I have to use AI, whether how much to use AI, this depends upon, like, what is the problem you are solving, how best you are going to solve. Because sometimes technology costs are too high, if you wanted to add more and more. I think you have to balance in between and try to solve with, we call it as, minimal viable products. I think you are all learning, and that is one of the, pilot. Now it's a MVP, we call it. Simple things to start with, and you can always add values, keep on add values further. So it is very difficult, like, whether how much to use, how much not to use, but what's the core problem, how you are going to solve. And there are alternative to, say, in AI itself, there are different, simple object detection can solve, or deep learnings and things like that. Then the cost of the product will increase. There are a lot of things, aside of an implementation, but I think holistically you can think of what is really the problems you are going to solve.
Thank you, sir. We have another question from Patiranga. Introducing high-end products such as agricultural mobile applications, automation systems are somewhat difficult due to technology knowledge gap. How does the agricultural industry face this?
I think it's a very interesting question. I think a transformation will happen. I think, see, when we started, we do not, there are a lot of things has to change. Okay, it's not that agri has a lot of dependencies on the connectivity, telecom, reachability, how the farmers are kind of an, use of mobiles and things like that. I think it was a challenge. It's still challenge. Some part of India, I think still SMS is challenge. I understand this. Being from India, I understand different demographies across India. But what happened is, these are all, people will start changing and start learning from other countries, news, whatnot. I think I don't see anybody is not having a mobile phone, even in India. There may be a lesser percentage, but every day we are growing and growing and growing. And we have to see that, okay, if some farmers do not have a mobile phone, but you can try that with, some farmers with mobile phone itself, validate your ideas and excite that farmer community, so that when the next 1 year, the number of farmers buying mobiles will definitely increase. That is an definitely mobile will become an essential commodities. That's where. So initially it is touch phone. I think Nokia is kind of touch phone is back, but it has come up with apps based design. There is no, like, simple mobiles. I think some percentage are using apps, start applying apps, then spread that. If they see, okay, if I could able to install that app, if I get a benefit, definitely we can tell them, hey, you can go for a simple version of a mobile and things like that. That is always a way forward. I think that is how Now, SMS reaches most of the farmers in India. I think it took a long time, definitely, but that doesn't stop you. Okay, that is not there. These are all problems we have to solve. We are here to solve. We should not think as a limit or an end of it. It is an opportunity. If SMS is not there, what it will be like? Maybe a post box is available. Just think of like, automation, at a city level, automation, and push the address, the post or a telegram or something like that. We can leverage what is available to reach them and deliver some information. It's all about, of course, there are certain areas your applications cannot go. Absolutely, we can't do, but we have to wait other ecosystems. But whatever we can influence through. Oh, you can create a story. Hey, this farmer has used the app which has fantastically helped him. Then the word of mouth, social media, it will go, or somehow it will transcend across, and slowly community will grow. It takes time, patience, and all. I think that is the startup is like, our design thinking is like, it's like, how we our kids grow, or we have grown. It takes time to become, fully developed, knowledgeable, valuable citizen. It's a long journey. It takes time. Same we can apply here as well. Limitations are there. Design thinking is always about overcoming, working around, finding a new way. All the problems are good. We are strong, we are better, we are going to solve, find an alternative. That's the mindset we have to approach. Otherwise, after 50 years also, we are going to tell, okay, there are problems, we have not solved it. I think countries like India, countries like Sri Lanka, I think Southeast subcontinent and all, it's our time. We have to think beyond all these problems and go solve. Somehow, we are creative people, we have ideas, we can do something definitely better. Sometimes we have to play with the attitude, sometimes we have to play with our confidence, not to bog it down by the problem, is my, very general input here. Apart from like, you apply again design thinking, and how to solve, how to find a way. Like I use, if not SMS, telegram. If not telegram, send a postal card to him, that plan. You charge him, say, $1 yearly, 12 messages he will send, postcard telling him what to grow, what not to grow. You can do sitting at a back office, predictions and things like that, and give the insight on a paper and pass it to him, or send a paper by kind of a thing and start it. That is where the transformation, people will appreciate that, and then you will build, they will buy a mobile, they will come on your platform. So always find a way, is my suggestion here.
Yeah, one small thing adding to Kishore. Yeah, I think this is the question is that it's difficult to kind of introduce, or difficult to having this knowledge gap from the farmer side. I think that is the question. So yeah, that is, I would say we need to take that challenge as a positive. That is your opportunity, I would say. So that's where you want to be very creative and uh, transform or give your product to them in a way that they can use it. So that is one thing. That is your opportunity, and you want to make it simpler to use it. Best example is like, I think everybody know the Google versus Yahoo example. So earlier, so the Yahoo was the leading search engine, right? So then they become, when they are coming this journey, so they add whatever the things they can add to their search engine, and they complex their entire the search engine, right? Even it's very mess, right? But the Google approach was that it is very simple. It's a, once you do the google.com, so it will search, give you only search box, that's it, right? It's very simple. So that's the major transformation Yahoo was Google, right? So that why people love the Google search. Anyone saying that do your Yahoo, do your Bing. No, right? So everyone say that do the Google. So why that is the simplicity, and that's where the people get adapted. Likewise, when you are creating a product or services, you want to think in that angle. If it is difficult, so then that's where the design thinking come. So the ideation process and also get the feedback, create prototype and get the feedback from the customer. That's where you want to change your product. How usable is it to the end user? That is one angle. Other thing is that don't just sell only your product, right? So what are the additional benefit you can bundle it to a product and give it to them? So let's say every time when they open the application, every transaction what they are doing through your application, if I can give them a reward saying that okay, if you do a one transaction or if you open this particular application once a per day or two times per day, you will get a 200 rupees per transaction or per open. We are giving 100 rupees. So then eventually farmer will get into that, or the people who using this particular application, they will get it used into that, right? So that's kind of a creative idea. Plus, don't just sell or don't just build your product only with your purpose. So bundle something into that and give it to the end user. The example is that everybody now, you have a smartphone, you have a Facebook application, Insta application, everything, right? Even if you are not, if these applications are not in your first screen, even if it is in the third or fourth screen, you go, right, you search and you click that particular application, right? Because you want to go and see, okay, what's happening in the world, what is posting, something like that. That kind of a creative idea you want to bring into that, not only your core application or core services. That's what my idea and the advice on that. Anything?
Yes, thank you very much, sir. I think we have one last question from Team Cultivores, Owen. When considering Sri Lankan context, most of the farmers having small lands. Most of the farmers do not even have 1 hectare due to high land fragmentation. The question is, what are the possible measures that we can implement to address that solution?
It is just to add, it is not the
One mic
small
and
land or a
you have usually
yeah,
just try it.
large land. Yeah, it is all about, in my point of view, how we can help that farmer. I have a small piece, you see that, from our balcony itself, sustainability, a lot of people are going for sustainability and all now, in balcony, people are growing enough foods for, two people kind of a consumption, they are growing at least enough vegetables. I am sure, they have bigger than a balcony, right? If you look at it, bigger than a balcony. I think that is the positive side. You look at it, not the negative side. Okay, Sri Lankan farmer less than having 1 hectare. I look at it very positive side. Sri Lankan farmers, what you have indicated, have bigger size of land, real land, which is better than a balcony. So you have to look at, I am giving an idea. That's all. It is not maybe, hypothetical, but just give you an idea to think. Look at search balcony, what can we grow and how much we can grow. Very productive balcony. Can somehow it can be grown in balcony, controlled environment, high tech and anything, but anything you can learn and apply to help that farmer to grow more. Small, less is more, we call it as less is more, design thinking or wherever, simplistic life and lot of the things are happening around the world. Less is more. With less, how much more you can help him with giving some weather forecast, or giving soil testing. You can give soil testing as a service. You can carry a kit, test the soil. Oh, you apply all those things, nutrition analysis, give him something and try to make him grow. So then it will increase his cash flow, or it is increase his productivity. It will increase, produce more. I think that kind of a thinking you can do there, not to bogged by or not too limited. Hey, they have a small land, what they will do? They have a small land. I have an opportunity to help them to do better. Then I do not know what to do. But I am comparing. I look at it very positively. If a balcony guy can grow for 2 people, less than a hectare can grow for 2,000 people. How I can do, I do not know. Like again, problem definition, identify, things like that. So that is one of the fantastic problem to solve. Even in India, anywhere you look at it, it's all small land, small farmers, larger farmers, bigger farmers and all. But usually smaller farmers are active and working hard, and they are driving. Larger farmers, they will not focus much on the farm yield and things like that. But high end farmers will produce which is for export qualities and all. So I think that is my perspective here. I understand, but I believe small is more.
Yeah, my perspective was the same. I think, Kishore, I think you cover that the small is does not matter. So, Chamikar, anything else you want to add?
No, I think Indika, yeah, I think I previously mentioned about this little bit. So about because we are having a small farmers. So what I want to at least basically, if you do have, I think when you collect some information related to what they have the issues or what they have the problem, so we can come up better solutions to first to find quick wins. So what are the easiest solutions we can provide them? When we can start from there. That's all, Indika. Diniti?
Thank you very much, sir, for answering all those questions. So I think we've come to the end of our session, marking the end of a great session conducted by Mr. Indika Dalugama, Mr. Kishore Kumar Shetty, and Mr. Chamikara Pereira. I'd like to thank you for taking your time off despite your busy schedules to enlighten us and to share your thoughts on the topic of empowering the skill of design thinking and industry scenarios, and how technology can help in agriculture, and adding to it many more valuable ideas and sharing your experiences. Once again, thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
team.
Thank you
very
all.
much.
Thank you all.
Thanks,
Bye
Dimiti
bye.
and the team organizing for this one.
Nice
Yeah,
connecting you, Chamikara.
Yeah.
thanks. Bye.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Signing off from this webinar, I'm Rajak Dimiti Randini Arachi. Stay safe and have a great day.